Hi, this is Mike Crow, and I run a home inspection business. In fact, I've run a couple of home inspection businesses. The true joy for me, though, has been helping literally thousands of home inspectors build really solid home inspection businesses as well. We can help a single-man operation be able to do over $300,000 a year, maybe all the way up to $400,000 a year as a single inspector operation. Even better for me is the 80-plus companies that we have helped be able to build million-dollar home inspection businesses. I would like to help you be able to do the same thing. Hey guys, this is Mike Crow, and I just came back. Been doing a lot of fun stuff out there, and I wanted to get back to the book that I put out quite some time ago, Home Inspector Marketing Secrets. And just realized, by the way, recently, we're probably going to rewrite this book. So if I mention page numbers or anything, they may or may not fit. Chapter 11 in this book, the last time, I really talked about system number 7, handling of a wow. Now, if you're a good home inspector, at some point during the inspection, people are going to say, wow, okay? And you want to make sure that that happens. And by the way, if it doesn't, then you want to try to make sure that you take care of some other things along the way as well. So here's the thing is, I've got a very simple formula for getting referrals, and that is plant seeds plus proper time plus be confident equals referrals. And referrals are the lifeline of your business. Referrals is what makes your business grow year after year. It's what makes your business easier. It's what makes your business more profitable. Now, most people don't think about how that is a system, how systematizing that or how important systematizing that is. I actually put a little picture in here off of a seed pouch, okay? And most people don't realize that planting seeds are not something where you just dig up a hole and you put some seeds in and you just cover it back up. That's not the way it works, okay? The directions are very specific. You dig the hole exactly so deep, use a certain type of soil if you possibly can, and then you water so much and on and on. But it's very specific. So I put a picture of that in here. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that also the timing is everything. And in fact, let me say that again. Timing is everything. You want to make sure that you plant the seeds at the right time of year. So imagine if you were to plant the seeds right before you went into winter. Well, not a good idea. They might sprout, but they probably wouldn't survive the winter, okay? And you got to be more careful about timing. So during the inspection, timing is important as well. When do you ask for, whatever it is that you want to ask for? Maybe you want to ask for a referral. Maybe you want to ask for different things. And by the way, I'm going to finish this segment with the 4 magic words on asking for a referral that has worked for me every single time. In fact, maybe the most powerful 4 words I've ever used. So timing's everything. In fact, you might even want to write that down, hang it somewhere like on the bathroom mirror. Timing is everything, and keep that in mind. It's kind of funny because I had one of my inspectors come in and he's one of our better inspectors. He came in and he said, hey, Mike, I want to talk to you about getting a raise. And I'm sure he thought his timing was good, but it wasn't. I had just finished writing a $1,000 check that we had to send out to somebody. That happened because of a complaint that he had on his home inspection. Not only did he not get the raise, okay, and I did pat him on the back. He was a great guy, okay, but not only did he get the raise, we had a whole different discussion than what he thought was going to happen. So timing is everything, all right? And so if you ask for things at the wrong time, the same thing can happen to you, and I don't want to see that happen. And that third part of the formula, so you got plant seeds, right? Plant seeds plus proper time plus be confident equals referral. So the third part of the formula is to move in confidence. Does the farmer plant 1 seed here and 1 there? No, of course not. The farmer will dig the rows and plant the seeds correctly at the proper time of year. And he does such with a confidence knowing that they're going to sprout, okay? And I want to make sure that you have the same type of experience. So by the way, you should consider finding, someone that understands this kind of timing as well. Someone that understands how and when and where to get this done. I teach Big Bang Marketing. Inside of that, we teach that, you want to visit 10 real estate offices per week, the same 10 real estate offices per week, every week for at least 8 weeks. And there's timing and things that have to happen here. What to say, how to say it every single time you walk in and out of that office. And so it's a very important part of this. The other thing that as I go through all of this, I come over to the next page and what a new inspector must do. There's a lot of things you've got to do to be able to get yourself ready to be out there. Now, if you're an experienced inspector, a lot of these things you've already done. You already have a good report. You already have a good inspection. You already have certain things. However, what I find is even with experienced inspectors, a lot of things is that what they've done are not the most efficient that they could do. What they've done is great, but they don't have the right kind of business card. They don't even have a brochure. They have an inspection report, but it's overly, well, let's just say it's hard to consume for the buyer and your maven, the real estate agent. So you've got to make sure that you don't have that in there as a problem as well. So I visit many local stations, and, some have a policy of not discussing marketing. What the heck? A new home inspector, he can get all the basics right, but if he doesn't understand marketing, why would you do that? But as a local home inspector, that becomes a challenge. And I'm going to tell you something very, very important here. If you're new, asking somebody local to teach you how to do home inspections is great. That's fine. They'll be glad to teach you how to be a home inspector all day long. What they won't teach you is how to market, because they don't really want you dipping in the same pond as they're in. And of course, people will tell you, oh, there's enough business for everybody. And the truth is, yeah, there's enough business for all the good people, all right? However, they just don't really want to make sure that you understand exactly how they've grown their business. And the other challenge you have is that if they've been in the business 10 years, 20 years, their marketing now is different than the marketing at the very beginning. So that's why you need to find somebody. Let me pause here for just a second. I want to make sure you hear this. You need to find somebody that's 100 miles or an hour away from where you're inspecting. And then they'll teach you everything because they don't care. They're not worried about you coming into their marketplace and doing that. And so I talk about that in a different factor here. And understand that you're not going to build this overnight. I'm a big Disney fan, a huge Disney fan, and I love going to Walt Disney World. In fact, I'm going to Walt Disney World again next week, and I'm going to have a blast. I'm meeting a group of folks down there. We're doing some coaching, we're doing some masterminding, and we're going to travel, and we're going to study some of what Disney World is all about. However, you can't come into this business and go build a Walt Disney World overnight unless you have unlimited funds, okay? It is kind of funny because that is what Japan did. Japan came to Walt Disney World and said, hey, we want to build another Walt Disney World, and they did over there. But they basically, the guy that built it had unlimited funds, and he did an incredible job with it. But most people, they have to start further back. They have to work their way up. Even Disney, even Walt himself had to build it from the start up. So, before Walt Disney World, think about what came along, okay? Well, Disneyland came along. And, of course, a number of movies in there. And then even before Disneyland, or right at the very beginning of Disneyland, came the World's Fair. And a lot of ideas and things and rides from the World's Fair came into there. And then, of course, before Disneyland, there was, Disney on TV. And then there was, do you remember this? There was animation, right? There was Mickey Mouse, okay? And even before that, he had a lot of failures. And most of you don't know about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which, by the way, Disney created and then lost under copyright, challenges. And so there were a lot of things there. So timing is everything. And just understand that as you're going through this process, there is a step-by-step process to get to build your business. Whether you want to be a single-man operation doing 400, 500 inspections a year, or whether you want to be a multi-inspector with 10-plus inspectors, there is a step-by-step process. Just like Walt Disney had to go step-by-step. I had to go step-by-step. And here's the thing is, if you know how to do it, you can do it a little faster, but you still have to go through the steps. Now, most of you know I built my first company, and we did up to $1.79 million in my first company. And then I sold that company, and then we continued to grow it for 3 years. And then I resigned from that company, and then I went and bought another company. But I still had to go through that second company step by step to build it to what it is today. And now we've been doing over $2 million for like the last 10 years, all right? And so that's very important. All right, you got to plant the seeds, you got to do it at the right time, and you got to be confident with it. So there's this old story about D-Day. Right? So you're landing on the beach and you're running towards the shoreline, trying to get past the beach up to the grassy area and everything. Where do you step? Where do you step? Okay? Because there are landmines everywhere waiting to blow you up. And I heard somebody say something, one of the most powerful things I ever heard. and you step where other people have stepped before. Because you have pretty good confidence that if they stepped there and they didn't blow up, you're going to be able to step there and not blow up as well. So you've got to be able to plant the seeds and have it at the right timing, and you've got to be able to do it with confidence. So do it with confidence by following in the steps of somebody that has already been there, already done it, and continues to do it. So it's one of the most important things. Now, I want to ask you one really simple question. When are you the most referable? People don't get this right. They think they're the most referable after they've done a good job, after they've gotten the report, and after they've had time to digest the report, after they've moved into the house and everything. Absolutely the worst time, to some degree, to be the most referable. You are the most referable as soon as they say, wow. Remember that? We started this segment with that. When do your customers say, wow? And if they don't, well, maybe we need to set it up so that they do. All right. So a lot of times when people would say, wow, I didn't realize that. And, oh, that was something new. I never heard that before. Wow, I'm surprised that I'm getting my inspection report on site. Wow, I was really amazed I was able to schedule, this inspection as quickly as I did. Wow, thank you for, showing up early. Wow, thank you for getting whatever it is that you get done. Okay? Sometimes people used to say, wow, at our flashlight. Because in the old days, we had this super duper flashlight, it was a $150 flashlight, and most people had never seen a flashlight that good, all right? So we get a wow off of that, all right? Whatever it does, whatever you have to do to be able to get that wow is incredibly important. And when you get the wow, well, that's when everything is important. So here's what I want you to, in fact, write this down. Might put it right underneath timing is everything on your mirror there. You are the most referable when you are solving people's problems. You are the most referable when you are solving people's problems. Now, if you haven't written it down yet, at least say it with me this time. You are the most referable when you are solving people's problems. You need referrals. You've got to have them. And the trick is, what do you do after those referrals? And this is where the 4 magic words come in, okay? And the 4 magic words is, thank you for noticing. Most people might say, oh, thank you. And I know some people, and it just drives me crazy. You go, wow, okay, what a nice truck. And they go, oh, that old thing, I've had that for 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or whatever. Some people can't take a compliment. If you can't take a compliment, that means you can't take referrals very successfully. I just want to make sure you hear that. Compliments are the basis of referrals for you, and it's the basis of using these four words. Well, thank you for noticing. And of course, you could say, well, thank you, okay? And you think you're done. It's kind of funny. I remember one time my youngest daughter, she walked into the room and she had a dress on and she had her hair all done up and everything. I said, wow. I said, hey, you look really nice today. And she goes, well, yeah, but I had problems with getting my hair done. I had this. And I went, whoa, 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 stop right there. When somebody gives you a compliment, you say thank you. You say thank you. I said, let's try this again. Going back in there. Okay. Now come out. Oh, honey, you look really nice today. And she looked at me, she said, well, thank you. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, and yes, I'm a control freak, and yes, I have tried to make sure that my kids understand these things, and yes, they still sometimes, go off on other beaten paths, but what we teach our kids is really important. I hope you learn to be able to take a thank you. Now, thank you for noticing is even better. Thank you for noticing, all right? And I'm going to give you a whole little script that goes with this that is really, really important in the book here, so thank you for noticing. And then what you want to say is, I really try to make sure you have a great experience while working with me. And we're working hard at making sure you get as much information, while you're here. By the way, and I love by the way, would you please do me a small favor? They have never said no to me. Not once, not ever. And so this, in fact, is my #1 favorite script in the entire world of selling and marketing, all right? Oh, you deliver the report on site? That is so cool, all right? Oh, you give me a summary page so I don't have to look through, 20 pages, 30 pages, 40 pages, 50 pages, however many pages you have, okay? So that I can just read the summary and really get an essence of it. And yes, of course, I know I want them to read the whole inspection report. But take the thank you. Well, thank you for noticing. You know, one of the things I really want to try to make sure is you have a great experience while you're working with us. And we work hard at trying to make sure you get as much information as possible while you're here. By the way, could I ask you for a small favor? Now, they're always going to say yes. They're always going to say yes. And in fact, if you get a no, I would love to know that, because it tells me something went wrong. Either you didn't plant the seeds right, or you asked at the wrong time, or maybe you weren't confident in doing it. But if you plant the seeds at the right time, and plant the seeds, and then do it at the right time, and be confident, this works like 100% of the time, okay? And so, here's my absolute number one favorite way to use this, okay? You know, when you get back, your agent's most likely going to ask you how the inspection went. Well, if you would, just let her know we did a really good job for you. We took really good care of you. And here's one addition to the script that I like to use is, so often all they hear is when something goes wrong, and I know it would help confirm for her making the right decision to recommend us if she knew you had a pleasant experience. So it's very simple. Let me try this from beginning to kind of finish for you. Oh, man, thank you for having a summary of the report so that we can get to the real meat of this as quickly as possible. Well, thank you for noticing. In fact, I just want to tell you, it's a pleasure working with you guys, and we want to make sure you have as much information as we possibly can for you here, and we're going to make sure we work hard at making sure that that happens for you. By the way, can I ask you guys for a small favor? Sure, what do you want? Okay? When you get back, your agent's probably going to ask you, how did the inspection go? And if you would, just say, wow, they did a great job. In fact, I love the fact that they had a summary on their report, and he went over every question we had. And by the way, I will, and just make sure that you know that. And I just want to tell you thank you for doing that, because I love it when agents can come to the inspections, but most of them can't come nowadays because of a lot of reasons. And so often all they hear is when something goes wrong. And I know it would help confirm for her or him in some cases that they make the right decision by referring us if they knew if you had such a pleasant experience. Now, if you're not quite ready for that, you can always start off with something simpler that we've talked about in previous calls. You could always start off with, well, thank you for noticing, and please don't keep me a secret. All right? So you could definitely start with that and work your way up to all of those different points. Well, that is the biggest thing that I wanted to try to make sure that you have today. Keep in mind that we're doing a lot of great things here, and I am having so much fun as I'm coaching again for home inspectors all across North America. We have a number of people that are brand new in the business that are just having record years, and some of you out there go, oh, the market's a mess right now. Well, here's the thing is, the market's always a mess, all right? It's either way up or way down. It's rarely just level. Okay? And most people don't even know what a normal market is because the market's been so up and so down. That's just the need for experience. If you're a farmer, you're going to have dry summers. If you're a farmer, you're going to have wet summers, okay? You're going to have too much rain, or you're not going to have enough rain. So what are you going to do to make sure you have a good crop that is usable at the end of that season? If you're waiting for the right year to come along to be an inspector, well, you might get it 1 year. You might even get it 2 or 3 years. But it isn't going to happen that way from all the time across. So do us a favor. Go out and see our website. It's across the bottom of the screen there, or I'll make sure it gets put on after I'm done here. But go out and see our website. Come join us. You can easily do this. Learn our Big Bang Marketing. Set it up so that you can get started out there. Well, this is Mike Crow, and as I love to say, be successful and be around those that are successful. Because the more money you make, the more people we can help. Have a great day. Talk to you again soon.